So I've got a FL1200 weed eater leaf blower here, and I was working on it. 90% of the time it's a fuel problem. It either needs fresh fuel or the carb cleaned. I cleaned the carb probably about 5 or 6 times, wouldn't work. New spark plug, nothing. Got really frustrated with it, decided to take it apart to see if it was something with the spark. I couldn't really see the spark really well, didn't know if it was intermittent or something like that, so I ended up taking it apart. And when I took off the cover there, this bolt right here for the engine that keeps the crank and the cylinder together had come loose. And so my problem was an intermittent start. On about half choke, probably every 40 or 50 pulls, you'd get it to run for a second, and you could get it to run on starting fluid for a second as well. And so when I pulled it apart, I realized that was loose, tightened it up, everything fired up right away. I checked the fuel filter inside the fuel tank, and that was fine. I checked the screen inside the carb and cleaned that, and that was fine. The spark plug was wet, so I knew it was getting fuel after I cleaned it. So if you have a Featherlight Weed Eater 1200, then that's one thing you want to look into if you have a no start or a hard start situation. There's also another bolt for the engine that's in that hole right there. So just stick an Allen key down in there and tighten those up if you see that they're loose, and it should fire right back up. For reassembly, basically the top half of the cover there seals where the crank is right here. So you're just going to place that back on. And then there's a bolt that goes in the front right there. There's 4 bolts that go on the top right there. Have to get those 5 bolts in. Next, I'm going to reinstall the gasket. Now that you have those 2 screws tightened down right there and right there, you can reinstall the air filter and then reinstall the air filter cover. Now I'll reinstall the spark plug. It's a RCJ6Y by Champion. Now it's all reassembled. Make sure you have fresh gas in it, 41 mix, and fire it up.